On this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what solar marketing agencies are keeping away from you. Coming up. Hey, welcome back to another solar video on the channel. My name is Ivan, and if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do, because I'm going to be posting videos twice or three times a week throughout this year that will help you with your solar sales and solar marketing. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes, man. I get a lot of people. The reason why I wanted to make this video, first of all, because I get a lot of people that complain about, hey, I've been ripped off. I've had, my money stolen from this company, and this company, promised this or said that and never delivered. It's always sort of the same thing, okay? There's a few out there that can actually deliver, which is pretty good, but there's a lot of people and companies out there that are just giving the industry, the solar marketing industry, a very bad rep, okay? In solar, it's the same thing, okay? However, I want to debunk some of the numbers that people will give you out there when you're on the sales call, so you know exactly what you should expect. And I've seen, again, time and time again, it doesn't matter what anybody tell you, again, it comes down to delivery, okay? Talk is cheap, results are everything in this game. And so I want to let you in on what are the numbers, what the numbers look like if you hire a marketing agency that knows what they're doing, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out some numbers here on the board that will give you sort of an understanding as to what you can be expecting if you invest in a good marketing company. Wink, wink. So let me lay out some of the numbers for you, and you don't have to, again, you can write in the comment if you've had a different result with another company, but the numbers that I'm going to lay out are pretty industry standard. And again, your closing rate comes into play too. That's why in our program, for example, we actually show people how to close solar over the phone. So we remove the sales out of the equation. But that's a topic for another day. So now, numbers, what they look like if you were to start working with a marketing agency that knows what they're doing. So number one is, what are the lead costs, man? Leads, okay? Leads. Now, lead costs. So the lead costs can range somewhere around $5 to around $20, $25, depending on the market, right? The reason why I like to say 5 to 20 is because that's usually the ballpark of what we generate for our clients, okay? That is, again, that is a homeowner, someone who said that they own a home and they have a 650 and above credit score. It will cost us $5 to $20 to generate that. Meaning, if they're in a hotter market like San Diego, for example, the cost per acquisition of a lead, the cost per lead, it will be significantly higher than, for example, some parts in Texas or, Northern California, for example. And that's just the plain truth. Now, if the marketing company does know what they're talking about and they're being truthful with you, $5 to $20. This is what we generate, by the way. Now, the marketing company that you've had experience with might have been a completely different number. I'm telling you what we do, for example, right? It's $5 to $20, depending on the market. If it's a highly competitive market, it's going to cost more per lead, and that is just, straight up math, based on population, based on, the amount of space, on the social media platform, for example, and the amount of people that are advertising on that social media platform. Now that we've gone through the lead costs, a lot of people will lie about the closing rate. And that's something that people would ask a lot about. Closing rate. What is the closing rate? A lot of people say, okay, if I invest this much money, how much I'm going to be getting out? And that's a very good question. Everyone wants to know, hey, I'm going to invest this much money with you and your company. What am I going to get for it, right? So here's the usual closing rate the closing rate is anywhere between 10 to 15%. And a lot of people say, well, that is very shitty, right? Now, 10 to 15% out of, let's say 100 leads for easy math. And if you generate leads for about, let's say $1,000, right? You spend $1,000, and let's say the average is around, for easy math's sake, $10 a lead, okay? You're gonna get 100 leads, okay? All in all, you're gonna get 100 leads. If your closing percentage is 10%, okay, 10%, that means you're gonna have, I would say probably the bare minimum, okay? If you have 100 leads, you're gonna be able to close at least 10, right? 10 deals. 10 closed deals. Now, that is one of the lowest cost per acquisitions anyone could ever ask for, right? If you think about it. Now, if you look at it, the closing percentage, you think to yourself, well, that's very bad. Like, that's not a good return on investment now. But when you think of the amount of money that you've actually spent and the amount of money that you've actually made, it's a whole nother subject. Because if you spend $1,000 on leads, right? You spend $1,000 on leads, and let's say you close 10 deals, for easy math's sake. Let's say you close 10 deals, and let's say with the declines and everything else like that, you get about 10 to 20% of decline rate, right? You get about 8 deals, right? 8 deals, and you make, let's say you make at least, I don't know where you're gonna be selling again, but let's say you make at least $3,000 on a deal, right? $3,000, which is pretty much an industry standard. $3,000 to $5,000, depending on the deal. But we're gonna stay conservative here, and I'm gonna say $3,000. That is 3 times 8. That is $24,000 that you've just generated with only $1,000 of ad spend. Okay? I don't know who you're gonna ask about. I don't know what you think about it. I think that's a great return on investment. If I could invest $1,000 to $2,000 and make $20,000 to $25,000, I'd do this all day long, right? So that's what a good, that's what the actual numbers look like, and for somebody that knows what they're doing. So don't be afraid of 10 to 15%. Always tell my clients, people that have been in this industry, and they know, and obviously they've seen that kind of closing rate, especially when you're closing over the phone. If you've been following the content of the channel, you know that I'm very big on selling solo over the phone, and we actually teach that in our program. Those are numbers for when you're selling over the phone. When you're selling from, in the home, it's a whole nother story. That could go up to 20, 25%, okay? But we obviously want to remain conservative and make sure that, I give you the realistic numbers, something that you can expect. Okay, so don't freak about our percentages. All you have to do is think about the return on ad spend, the actual ROI that you're gonna get on the money that you've invested in advertising, all right? Now, the next thing I wanna say is, we already kind of covered it, the 10 to 20% sort of decline rate. A lot of people wanna know about decline, okay? It's roughly around 10 to 20%, okay? It goes in pendulum. It sort of goes like, some months you're gonna get a lot of decline, some months you're gonna get, less decline. You shouldn't really freak about, if you get, if in any given month you get, about 40% decline. That could happen, okay? It is a possibility, especially if you're closing over the phone. However, again, the return on investment is still significantly, higher than what anyone would expect. So again, that's the decline rate. And the last thing that I want to go over is the appointment setting. Hey, a lot of people say, okay, what does it cost? What it will cost me to schedule an appointment, okay? Or what percentage of the leads you generate would actually turn into appointments. So a good agency out there will tell you that you can schedule, 50% of the appointments. And I'm here to tell you that's true in some cases. However, you're either gonna have to pay, and that doesn't always mean that you're gonna get super qualified leads, but you're probably gonna have to spend a lot more money to generate this many deals if you're paying a high cost per lead, right? So I would say that the appointment ratio is anywhere between 20 to 30%. 20 to 30%, okay? Which means, again, for easy math's sake, if you do, for example, if you get 100 leads, you're gonna be able to schedule 20 to 30 into solid appointments. About 10 to 15 would be able to close, because if you know how to schedule them in and screen them well before the appointment, your closing rate should be significantly higher. Meaning, of those 20, 30%, you should be able to get, at least half of those people into a closed deal, right? So again, that is 10 to 15 deals. And again, I'm saying all this, sales ability is a factor in the equation. I cannot stress that enough, right? However, what I've just showed you here, those are pretty realistic numbers, and that's what we see across the board, even with clients that are brand new to selling over the phone. Again, if you're selling in the home and you're getting your leads, that are qualified homeowners and, and they have a 650 and above credit score, again, your numbers should look like something like this, right? I'm not a fan of paying, upwards of 60 or 70 or $100 per lead, because honestly, the amount of people that you're going to be able to contact is probably just about the same if you were doing, 5 to $20 a pop. And that way you increase your chances of actually speaking to a lot more people, right? And your cost per acquisition will be super low. So again, those are the numbers, and whatever anyone tell you, man, just don't trust them, because there's a lot of phonies out there, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They will give you, they'll promise you the moon and the stars in the world, right? And will tell you the leads are closed at 50% and this, that, and the other, just to make you sign up. But that, behind me, it's the reality, okay? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was sort of the rundown. I kind of went through what we do and what we've seen across the board, but like I said, I've spoken to hundreds, right? Hundreds of, people out there that have succeeded in the solar space, and they all say the same thing, okay? The good agencies or the good lead providers will probably be able to get you numbers close to this. So again, if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up so more people can be exposed to the channel. It helps me boost up, and it helps me boost the channel up, and I'll get discovered more easily. If the conversation comes up and, in the Facebook setting or another gathering, for example, just, give me a shout, and, I'll be very appreciative. I appreciate every single one of the subscribers that I have. Again, I'll be staying consistent with 1 to 2 uploads a week and about solar sales and solar marketing. Again, if you haven't downloaded the Solar Sales Black Book and you want to learn more about how to sell from a distance, make sure you download it. It's the first link in the description box. Now, if you want to learn more about what we do, which I just laid out on the board, right? Please schedule a call. It will be the second link in the description box below. It's either myself or somebody on the team will speak to you directly. If you're not sure about, what you need to do, again, I'm not going to be someone who just trying to sell you on, the new program or something revolutionary. I'm going to give you the numbers straight like I did in this video, okay? So again, stay safe. I hope you close more KWs this year, and I'll see you again on the next one.